Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Knight Rider coming at y'all on the 904 Supercars YouTube channel, and this is my first impressions drive of the C8. I technically did 5 miles last night, but that was really just because I had bought it. Okay, so upon first, wait, okay. We're just gonna jump right into it, I see. It's been a minute since I've actually played GT7 properly. I just ended up getting the C8 last night because they released it as part of the update, which is really kind of cool. Can't wait for that VR update though. I don't understand why that's not exactly a selling point, because I feel like it really should be. And again, what do I know? Seriously, I'm so personally excited. Like, they did a VR kind of like little demo on Gran Turismo Sport, which was, I never got a chance to play it because I didn't have a Gen 1 PSVR. But from the little bit that I know of it and what it is and whatnot, I'm really hyped to see what could be possible. Not only just in terms of driving, but in terms of the aspect of the quote-unquote scapes mode, the photography area. Like, imagine how much cooler that would be. Like, that would be so much cooler. Okay, a little off the track there. There's pit lane. Okay. A little too much brake, and not only that, but I got off the line and lost traction. As soon as I ended up hitting those couple of bumps and was on the brakes a little too much. It's okay though. Through the power of video games, nobody was hurt. Mistakes were made. I never said I was a professional race car driver. The fact that I do as well as I do kind of amazes me. It would be so cool if GM brought back Pontiac and kind of made a smaller version of the Corvette, sort of like an electric city car, to be what the Tesla Roadster is. Something to compete with the Tesla Roadster as kind of like a city car, and like a modern day version of the Pontiac Fiero. That would be kind of cool. Like a small little city car, 2-seat. Obviously not as powerful as the Corvette, but you know, just something to put around town, or something like it, you know, something small and light. Just throw a small little electric motor in it, make it out of modern plastic, modern composite or whatnot. That would be kind of cool. That would actually be really cool. Obviously the Corvette is its own flagship, but it would be cool to bring back kind of a modern day interpretation of the Pontiac Fiero. Kind of do like a modern turbo 4-cylinder, or like a hybrid or something like that. That would be kind of cool. to this day, the only mid-engine car that I've ever actually ridden in was a Pontiac Fiero. Okay, a little too much power there. Back off time a little bit. Now this is yeah, like a small 4-cylinder hybrid, all electric miniaturized version of this is kind of like a modern day interpretation of the Pontiac Fiero. Would be really cool. Sort of like the Americanized version of what the Japanese would consider a K car, but like American size. I.e. something around the size of the Mini Cooper or something like that. That would be really cool. Okay, I got a little offline on that corner. Like in Japan, they have an entire class of micro car that called K. Don't ask me to even attempt to properly pronounce it the way it's actually meant to supposed to. But basically, what it is it's like 600 cc, 660 cc or less or whatever. It's meant to be as small and compact, but yet efficient as possible. Naturally, things here in America are obviously a little bit bigger. We have more open roads and stuff like that, so we could do something the size of like a Mini Cooper. That would be a lot of fun. Sorry for the mark. You're technically supposed to do 500 miles to break it in properly before you drive it like this, but hey, they're a dime a dozen, so why not? And I'm in the rhythm, so let's go. See, this is where the C8 platform seems to be amazing though, because it's kind of like the perfect beginner's car. It's got the cool looks, it's got the power, obviously it's the Corvette name that everybody knows and loves. But as you guys can tell, I'm sitting here with literally zero, I mean absolutely zero real world driving experience whatsoever. And yes, I will absolutely give credit where credit's due. Traction control and ABS is definitely saving me. But the overall arching picture is this car, it's not so unnecessarily overpowered to where it's undrivable, but literally anybody can just jump in it and feel extremely confident on track. And that is amazing. Obviously, if you do dumb, reckless stuff, you can wreck it and it's easy to lose it. But if you're driving properly and reasonably, like you should, you know, it's easy to handle. It's just the right amount of power to be able to carry you through when you need to get out of a situation, but it's not so much that you instantly start doing donuts the second you touch the pedal. But seriously though, GM really should bring back the Pontiac brand. That would be so cool. They've dabbled in turbo 4-cylinders before. Why not make a modern one? The Buick Grand National, the GMC Typhoon, the other one, the Cyclone, they all really, the Grand National, the GNX, those are all cars that really should get more recognition than they do. And who knows, maybe there's some ultimate version of the Corvette down the road that's going to have a turbo from the factory. That would be kind of cool. Okay, well, I went slightly off track because I got my braking point wrong. I'm gonna make this comment right here, and I do not mean this to be insulting at all. This is actually kind of a cool quality of this car. It's basically idiot-proof. To me, the C8 kind of feels like an idiot-proof race car. And I don't mean that insulting. What I mean by that is it's the perfect beginner. It's the perfect, you want to go out on the weekends and have fun and turn some laps. It's the perfect car for that. I mean, like I said, I have literally zero zilch real life driving experience, and I'm handling it with no problem, and I'm not wishing for more power. It's perfectly adequate where it's at. Like right there, my braking point was slightly off, and I can recognize that, rather than it being me not knowing how to control the car. I can recognize that my braking point is off. Like I hit the brakes a little too hard right there. Like I've only done 22.5 miles and I feel extremely confident and comfortable with what I can do with this car for how little real world experience I have. If I got the opportunity to go out and drive on a track at night when I could see the best, that would honestly be really cool. I'd be interested to see the comparison between my lap in Gran Turismo 7 and my actual lap in real life. Obviously under the conditions of being at night, because that's when I see the best. I feel really confident driving the C8. Oh, but he just went off track. Well, yeah, because my braking point was wrong. I followed the wrong line. See, like, that's the perfect amount of power for me to be able to stay online. Obviously, naturally, as I get better, I would, of course, be able to handle different cars, but for starting out, I feel really confident. I'm about to go do a lap or two up the ring. Next time I hit the start-finish line, I'm going to the ring. Because I want to see how I handle that. I'm talking about how competent I feel with this car. I'm going to go do the ultimate test. Because there's one particular part of the Nürburgring called the carousel that is an extremely tight bank corner. And if you don't hit it just right, you can easily lose it. Speaking of hitting bank corners, I'll do one more clean lap. But yeah, the carousel is extremely difficult to hit the right line. And I want to see if I can do it the first time around. Like I could put more, slightly more, like it feels so controllable. Obviously I spun the tires right there and that's why I lost it. And naturally the most of your weight is in the back of the car, so it kind of wants to spin around. But yeah, like it feels so confidence inspiring. It's the right amount of power. It's not so underpowered that you feel slow on the track. Sure, every time I go to try to say something positive about this car, I end up losing it. Nah, like real talk, it's genuinely the right amount of power to not do something stupid. Obviously, if you make a mistake, you make a mistake, but it's the right amount. Like, I don't feel like I'm slow, but I'm also not like, wow, I really want to go any faster because I don't have that experience. And it pulls through the corners so perfectly. I must have hit a wet spot on the track. Every time I go to say something positive, man. It's good though. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna genuinely focus and complete a clean lap because this car is really fun. Let me regain my composure and be quiet. It's not as That is a really banked corner. And every time I get thrown off on that corner. That corner right there is screwing me up every time. Because it's so banked. Like, such a sharp corner. I'm in your mouth. Well, there's a corner marker. Sure, that can't be good. Well, on that note, we're just gonna go do some off-roading real quick. On that note, how many miles did I actually just... Okay, 132,775. Okay, I did 14 laps. Okay. Okay, well, the 151 makes sense because I did spin out all of these like 140s, high 130s. Those all make sense for me spinning out. Like 145, 143, 139. Yeah, those are all from me splitting out. But I do want to take a cool picture. So let me do this. And this is the mode where having VR would be really cool. This would be so cool to be able to walk around in VR. Kind of like that's kind of that's oh dude, you can see the mountain. That is a cool picture. Freaking that is a genuinely cool ass picture though. Like you got that little off road right there, whatever the hell that is. You got the vehicles out there. You got people walking around. That is such a cool picture. You guys just have no idea. Uh, this keeps it from like because I don't. I try to keep it. The slower the shutter speed keeps it from being blurry. I want it to be like a clear picture. That is such a beautiful picture, though. I'm not done yet. I'm still gonna go do a couple of laps around the Nürburgring. I just had to take a couple pictures because that's like the coolest part of it. It's an art. That's kind of, that is a good shot. I'm extremely creative. Oh, that's gonna, yeah, see that? I mean, that's a cool action shot. If I was trying to get an action shot, that's kind of cool. Actually, that is a good action shot in the back. Oh, that's cool. Dude, if anybody gives you shit, so be it. You honestly do. Dude, that is a beautiful show. No, I'm gonna go see how far out the camera can go this way. put my rear tire in. Hold on. Hold on. I want that action shot. Oh yeah, take a picture of a Corvette in front of the Toyota sign. You know what though? Turn the lights off because they're kind of like blank. Nah, reset. Why I gotta go back. Oh man, it's not gonna let me turn the headlights off. That's sad face. Mm. Oh, see, I never played with any of this stuff. See, guys, I'm still discovering things, man. Can't wait for that VR mode, though. Watch me sit there and hype up something that may not even actually happen for a good little minute. It'd be so cool, though. That would be like the ultimate update to this game would be VR mode. Okay. Well, let's go see what my effort got me. I mean, considering the fact that I literally did nothing but a time trial, I can't even be mad about that. But let us go see how they handle the ring. Let us see how they handle the ring. Okay, we're gonna do the full fat 24-hour layout, guys. I want to rack up the miles. That's 7:45. 15 is 3 o'clock. 18 is 6 o'clock. 9 o'clock. That's 11:30. So that's 8:45. Let's just see how I do at night. Well, okay. That's start finish straight. Okay. I was almost to pit lane. Okay, so I see where pit lane is. Dude, I'm telling you, this is literally the perfect beginner race car. Like, if such a thing could exist, that is literally the C8. I genuinely see better at night, so yeah, I'm on the world's most difficult racetrack, and I'm doing it at night when it is virtually blinding around some corners. Who knows, maybe I could somehow prepare myself for a career in endurance racing. Okay, that was a bad corner. That was a really bad corner. Oh my god. Oh. I'm just weird about this. Normally, I'm kind of shocked at how focused I am today, because normally I'm not this focused. I'm just excited to drive the C8. Like, I've heard so much good things about it on YouTube, and I've seen so much stuff about it, but I have not got to ride in one, or, you know, anything like that. That was a tricky section. Ooh, braking while going uphill. Yeah, that really works. Actually, it kind of does. Okay, that was a bad corner. And there goes that front end. But due to the power of video games, it's almost like it's never happened. And that's a tight corner. Tight, no. We bouncing back, guys. Wait, he did not do anything. Woo. Wait. Okay. And that's the end of this car. Like the 80 millionth car to get totaled this year. Okay, that's a tight corner. Man, some of these spots, the only light you have is your headlights. Better hope you don't crack them. Better hope you don't crack them in half, because you'd be SOL. You'd be so lost. Bro, this is like really dark. And I'm like really inexperienced. But I feel really confident with this car though. And that's my whole point that I'm trying to make, is the Corvette C8 is very confidence inspiring. It's just with the suspension getting unsettled and being thrown around every which way without the proper experience, it does, you do easily lose it. But you gotta start somewhere though. And I feel like this is kind of like the perfect, as I immediately throw the back end. This car just does not want me to talk positive about it. Apparently I cannot talk positive about this car, and I don't understand why. Like, I've tried to say so many positive things about the C8 Corvette. It's like every time I try to say something positive, it ends up losing control. I mean, don't get me wrong, my ultimate dream car of all dream cars, if money was ever like zero object whatsoever, if I could go out and buy an F40 like you buy a freaking jug of Kool-Aid, my ultimate dream car of all dream cars. By the way, this is the carousel. You see how steep the carousel is. Yeah, my ultimate dream car of all dream cars, if money was absolutely zero object, is actually shockingly simple. A 1998 Dodge Viper GTS. That car in Gran Turismo, that was like my ultimate dream car back in the day. Like at that particular moment in my life, I was kind of in between a motel and a camper, and I was just 8 or 9 years old at the time. I was just a baby. But yeah, like we were always back and forth between the motel, the camper, the trailer, just wherever. And in between all of that, my I absolutely played Gran Turismo 1 almost every single day. That was like my go-to game. I was never good at the game. Like, actually, I sucked. I always came in last place on like every race. And I grew up, I was basically watching everybody around me in the trailer park end up going and in like a day or two of winning every single race. We losing control. Totally my fault. Yeah, I would go around, I'd see everybody end up constantly winning races and getting thousands of credits upon thousands of credits, and ultimately kind of like getting that car before I ever could. But I remember daily coming in last place on every single race, only getting like 500 credits per race. I remember doing that for like 6 months until I finally had the credits to buy the 98 Viper. No, it was 97, my bad. It was the one that's in Gran Turismo 1. Yeah, it was 80,000 credits, and I just remember working every single day. People were kind of like bragging to me like, oh, I can get it in a day or two, or I can get it and whatnot. That car taught me perseverance before I ever even was able to comprehend what perseverance really meant. That desire to stand steadfast and strong even in the midst of chaos and negativity. Everybody around me was sitting there kind of like getting the thing that I wanted before I could, and it always kind of like motivated me. And when I finally, after like 6 months of constantly grinding and losing every single race and only getting so few hundred credits, I eventually had the 80,000 credits saved up that it took to get that car. And when I did, it was like I won the lottery. I literally ran around my trailer park almost as if I had won the freaking lottery. Like, I remember I was like, oh my god, I finally got this car, and I had to go run around and tell everybody. To me, it was like the most amazing feeling in the world. And that sense of accomplishment has always stuck with me. That sense, that sense of accomplishment, I'm not even going the right way anymore. I'm so distracted. I done somehow got off track. Oh, wait, no, I am in the right way. Am I? Oh, okay. Yes, I am. I just got... See, it's like pitch black, so it's nigh impossible to see. I'm going to see if I do better at 8:45. But yeah, my point being is that feeling of accomplishment of basically everybody kind of like being better than me and me having to struggle and fight and grind and do everything for every single bit of credits, that always stuck with me even before I even knew or understood what perseverance was. Before I ever even knew or understood what it meant to be determined. That car, yeah, it's just a tin can. Yeah, it's kind of an old car that, like, woo, it's an old gas guzzling tin can, so to speak. But it taught me things in my life. It taught me lessons that have stuck to me to this day and that ultimately inspire me to move on, to do good in the world. Like for real, at that time, we were living between the Holiday Inn. My mom's family friend had a camper, and we were going between that and the motel, and sometimes we would have a mobile home for a little while. But yeah, we spent a lot of the time. I was living in a tiny little camper when I sat there and was grinding every single day after school, coming home, putting in the hours. You know, I was in a tiny little camper at that point, so I had nothing to myself. And at that point, I was 7. No, I was 9. I was 9 years old at that time, and you know, no 9-year-old kid should have to kind of be dealing with instability like that. But through that instability, I persevered. Through that instability, I somehow miraculously overcame the odds. And yeah, it was just a stupid, pointless video game. But it was the whole fact of it taught me lessons before I ever even could comprehend what I was being taught. You know, I sat there in the face of instability, living in a tiny little camper, barely big enough for one person. Yeah, not sure what's going on with my mom at that point. And through all of that, I every single day worked and worked and worked until I got that car. And when I got that car, it was like, if I will never be able to forget that feeling. It was like I had literally conquered the world. And that determination, even in the face of everybody telling me what I am, what I'm not, what I can and can't do, even through all of that determination, I still worked and I still accomplished that goal. And to figure that out at 9 years old, you can only imagine how much more of a fire that lights in an adult life. So yeah, just because of the life lesson that I learned to remain steadfast in the midst of uncertainty, you know, remain determined even when things aren't stable. That car taught me so much. And because of that, that is my ultimate dream car. Like, there are cars that I would love to drive. There are cars that I would absolutely love to own. But, like, the ultimate I could never get rid of, and what would mean more to me than anything, is a 1998 Dodge Viper GTS. Like, yeah, there's a lot of rare Lamborghinis that I would like to own. I would love to own a Lamborghini Reventon. I'd love to own a Veneno. You know, I'd love to own a Bugatti, a Koenigsegg, a Pagani. Oh, you know, there's a lot of different cars that I would love to own. But like the ultimate, like, and not only did that particular car, the Dodge Viper, teach me that lesson of perseverance, not only that, but it's an old school, straight up, basically you're strapped to an engine and transmission, and you have to know how to properly drive it. You have to know how to properly drive the Dodge Viper, because if not, it's very easy to throw it around and lose control. It has no ABS. Speaking of throwing it around, losing control. Yeah, it has no ABS, no traction control, none of that stuff. It's a manual, so it's like you can't just get in it and casually drive it like a computer in the way that you can with the C8. And no, I'm not disrespecting the C8 because of that. Actually, that's a good thing that you can, it's got computer intervention. But when you just want to escape from technology and just kind of block everything out and focus on absolutely nothing but what you're doing in that exact second, that's where the Dodge Viper is amazing, because it's all completely stick shift. However much control you have over it is all dependent on how heavy your foot is. It's not a car, it's a car that you can't just drive the way you operate your phone. You gotta actually drive. You gotta actually drive the Dodge Viper. So between that and what it taught me, that is my ultimate dream car of all dream cars. But anyways, guys, this video is almost an hour long, so like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys on the next upload.